Court calls the case of the people versus Gabrielle Shawaka.
Water Assistant Prosecuting Attorney for the People.
Christine Saxon on behalf of Jibril, Shawaka, present to my right.
State your name, sir.
Gabrielle Shawaka.
All right. I'm set for a preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
People are ready, Your Honor.
All right. Let me call you first.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, first, I'm asking first, sequestration.
Easy. You just said.
Easy for me to say.
Witnesses are hereby ordered sequestered.
Your Honor, I would ask that the OIC, Mr. Trierweiler be allowed to sit. I do not intend to call him.
Officer in charge may remain in the
You
court.
do not intend to call him?
I don't think I'm going to.
There's somebody behind you.
Yes.
All right. May I have it sworn?
Right hand. Solemnly swear to affirm the testimony about your truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, thank you.
See, state and spell your first and last name for the record.
My name is Mohammad. Mohammad.
Main court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Mohammed, I'm going to turn your attention to August 14th, 2025, at approximately 5 to 6 p.m. in the evening. Where were you at that time?
At Zippy's Car Wash on Carpenter Road.
And is that located at 5300 Carpenter Road? And to your knowledge, that's in the Pittsfield Township and within the County of Washtenaw and the state of Michigan?
Yes.
And what were you doing there?
I was cleaning it out.
And were you there by yourself?
No, I was accompanied by my sister, Mohammed.
Could you spell her name for the record, please?
H-A-N-E-M. Mohammed, M-O-H-A-M-M-A-D. And my friend, Talal Almaita.
Would you spell Talal's name, please?
I know the spelling of his first name, but not his last. His first name is spelled T-A-L-A-L.
Does A-L-M-A-I-T-A sound correct?
Yes.
And while you were there vacuuming your car, what if anything happened?
So as we were vacuuming our cars, Talal then went to the car wash and came back and parked his vehicle at the end of the vacuuming station, where the entrance is for the vacuuming station at the back of the car wash. And he was waiting for me to finish. As I finished, I was exiting the car wash.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just to clarify, you drove separate vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you were finishing vacuuming?
So as I was finishing vacuuming, I noticed that Talal finished his car wash. And so I was exiting the vacuuming station. And as I was exiting the vacuuming station, I noticed that he was still. And then I also noticed that Shawaka was coming into the car wash.
All right, I'm going to stop you there. When you say you were exiting, were you walking or you were driving your vehicle?
I was driving my vehicle.
Okay. And you said Jibril Shawaka. Did you personally observe him?
Yes.
And did you know him before you saw him that day?
Yes.
How do you know him?
He is my brother-in-law's brother.
Your brother-in-law's brother. Could you explain to the court what you mean by that?
His brother, Shawaka, is currently married but going through a divorce with my sister, Mohammed.
And Mohammed was with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you observed Mr. Shawaka come into the car wash. Could you describe your relation, or excuse me, strike that, Judge, I'm sorry. How many times have you met with or spoken to Jibril Shawaka?
Probably a handful of times, probably about 5, I'd say.
And how would you describe the state of your relationship at that time?
At that time, there's a lot of animosity and conflict, And it's an aggressive relationship with him.
And could you describe for the court what you mean by that?
So basically, every encounter that I've had with him in the previous has been very negative. There's been violent threats. There has been multiple encounters of shouting, cussing out my family, disrespect, neglect of family members.
And would this be, what are this animosity related to?
This animosity is related to my sister and thief Shawaka, I mean Mohammed and thief Shawaka, having conflict in their marriage and going through with a divorce.
Okay. So with that in mind, when you observed Mr. Shawaka come into the car wash, what happened next?
After that, I noticed that he was glancing at me very inappropriately, and he gave me an inappropriate hand gesture.
What was that?
Middle finger, which I reciprocated. I apologize to the court. That was not the best behavior of my end, but I reciprocated that with the same hand gesture.
It's a free country. You have the right of expression.
Interesting.
After you exchanged gestures, what happened after that?
After that, he continued to drive forward. I noticed that Talal was still parked at the same spot where he parked the parking station is.
Mhm.
And he drove forward, and there's like
I'm going to stop you. I apologize. When you say he drove forward,
so
you're referring to whom?
he drove past me.
Whom? Who drove?
Sorry, Jibril Shawaka.
Okay.
Drove past me. And he stopped at the island where the entrance and exit is for the vacuuming station. And he parked his car and got down.
And where was he then relative to you and to Mr. Almaita?
He was in between our cars.
Okay.
His vehicle parked
Okay. And then what did he do?
to the left. Then he exited the vehicle. I also exited my vehicle. After that, Talal was probably outside of his vehicle, wiping it down or something. So I exited my vehicle. And noticed that Talal was not out of his vehicle yet. But Jibril Shawaka was out of his vehicle. And his door was open. And
Which door?
his driver's door.
Okay. And then what happened? What did he do next?
When I got out of the vehicle, I next noticed that he started reaching for a handgun that was on his driver's side door.
So when you say reaching, he was reaching towards the driver's side door.
Yes,
All right. And then when did you observe a handgun?
yes.
All right. When you observed that, where was it?
It was in his right hand and it was pointing at me.
Describe for the court how he was holding it and how it was pointed at you, please.
When he grabbed it with his driver's side door, he reached down and grabbed it, and when he picked it up, he brought it up to his waistline and pointed it directly at me.
Was his arm fully extended or was it down at his side?
It was down at the side.
And his forearm was raised?
What do you mean by forearm?
This part.
Yes,
Thank you, Your Honor. And at that time, did you testify that the firearm was pointed at you?
yes.
All right. What did you do next?
I then next raised my hands.
Why did you raise your hands?
To be honest, I was in fear that
Fear.
I was gonna get shot. And I was also making myself noticeably that I was defenseless and had no weapons on my person.
Okay. And then after you did that, what happened next?
After that, we were exchanging words and I was basically saying some inappropriate terms, kind of to question his courage, to kind of motivate him to lower his weapon, so I could be out of the state of danger. And then I turned around and noticed that a black truck with 3 other guys, a black PMC, approached and got down from their vehicle.
At the time that you turned away, was he still holding the firearm?
Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor. So as you turned and walked away and the other car came in, what happened after that?
After that, three gentlemen in that black, truck, got down from their vehicle and started to approach me.
What do you mean they got down? They got out of the vehicle?
Yes, so, my truck was, parked at the exit of the vacuuming station, and they came and parked beside me, the black, truck. And, three guys, I don't know who they were, got down from the vehicle. And they got basically in between me and getting him back into my car.
And then what happened?
After that, they started talking to Jibril, and they started talking to me and kind of getting in between me. I was just trying to get my sister back in the car. I was yelling. I was police. Let's get out of here.
Were they all speaking English?
Yes.
Okay. And what were they saying back and forth?
They're the only thing I remember was them saying that they know Jibril and that he's very problematic. That was one of the statements that I remembered. Other than that, I don't remember much.
All right. So after they said that, what happened next?
After that, Jibril started to approach us where they blocked me off. And then he went and he standing behind the three gentlemen that approached me. And
Who was standing behind him?
Jibril Shawaka was standing behind the three gentlemen that approached me from the black truck.
Okay.
After they approached me and they were all huddling around me. And then he got behind one of them and reached over, Jibril Shawaka reached over one of the guys and punched me in the face.
And then what happened?
And then I punched him back.
And what happened from there?
After I punched him back, I punched him a couple times. And then I got back and I started looking for my sister, telling her, let's get back in the truck, let's leave. These guys are very violent, they just attacked me. I also noticed that employees from the car wash started to approach to see what was happening, the situation. And I was just very frantic and trying to leave.
And then what did you do after that?
I gathered my sister, my friend, Talal, Almaita, Mohammed, and we got back in our vehicles and we started to leave. I got back in my truck and put my car in drive and started to leave the car wash. I went to the front of the car wash and Talal pulled beside me in the front of the car wash. And he was trying to ask me where the car wash was because he was on the phone with the police. And I responded Carpenter Road, but he didn't hear me.
And then what happened?
After that, he parked beside me in the front of the car wash and he got down from his vehicle and I got down from mine. And when I got down from my vehicle, I noticed that a deep Shawaka came into the car wash and blocked our trucks.
Who is a deep Shawaka?
A deep Shawaka is Jibril Shawaka and deep Shawaka's brother.
Is this the person that is married to your sister?
No, a deep Shawaka is the brother. Deep Shawaka is the one that's married to my sister.
So this is a different brother.
This is a different brother.
And how he arrived in a car?
He arrived in a black truck.
And where did he park that car?
What?
I'm sorry.
He arrived in a,
Black Ram truck.
And then what did that truck do?
It came and it blocked off our trucks from exiting.
And then what happened after that?
After that, I seen that my friend Almaita was getting down from his truck. So I told him to get back into his truck. Because I realized that now there's a danger. There's two guys. Possibly both have weapons, you know. And
What happened?
Speculation.
oh, but that goes to his state of mind, not taking it as a fact. So overrule the objection. I'll let the answer stand. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Your Honor. So what happened next?
After that, I was telling Talal to get back into his truck. And as I was getting back into my truck, Jibril Shawaka came out of nowhere in my sight and pried my door open as I was shutting it, grabbed me by the legs very viciously and told me I got you now, and then proceeded to punch me in my face.
And then what happened after that?
After he punched me in my face, my recollection is that I rendered unconscious for a moment, because the next moment I woke up, I noticed that Jibril and Adib Shawaka were on top of Talal Almaita, hitting him, kicking him, punching him in the flower bed across the parking lot to the car wash.
So you testified just now that you think you lost consciousness briefly.
Yes,
When you regained consciousness, where were you physically?
in the truck.
You were in the truck.
Yes.
And then after you observed Mr. Almaita engaged in a fight with some other gentlemen, what did you do?
After I seen that they were kicking him and punching him and being very violent, and I got down from my truck and I started to approach him to try to go help him.
Mhm.
And then I noticed that they just left him alone, and then Jibril tried to charge at me again. And then I took a step back.
When you say Jibril tried to charge at you, where was he standing?
So that was in the flower bed, which is where the mulch.
I understand.
So basically, they were hitting and kicking Talal, and then as I got down from my truck and started to approach, they both got off of him, and then he kind of like jolted himself forward at me.
And then what did he do?
I then took a step back. They both ran off to their vehicles, and then from which there, Jibril got into his vehicle. Jibril, when he was leaving, tried to hit me exiting the car wash.
Can you explain to the court how he drove that made you think he was trying to hit you?
When he exited the car wash, he turned the car facing towards my direction, and I kind of took a step back out of the way, and then he corrected the steering wheel to exiting the car wash.
And in the course of him doing that, did you think he was going to hit you with the car?
Yes.
After that, what happened next?
After that, they left the car wash, and I frantically tried to take out my phone to take a picture of the license plates because they were fleeing the scene. So I wanted to gather some information.
Okay, and then what did you do?
I went over to Talal and helped pick him up off the floor, started brushing off the wood chips off his back. And then after that, I believe the house.
The police arrived after that, you said?
That is yes.
Yes.
And then after the police arrived, you spoke to the police and explained what had happened.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I have just a moment, please? Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions for Mr. Mohammed.
Cross-examination.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So, Mr. Mohammed, you stated that when you got to the car wash, you and your sister Haneen were in one vehicle,
Yes.
Talal was in another vehicle. When the police arrived, Haneen was no longer at the scene, and she had left in a green Cherokee, correct?
No.
She was still at the scene?
Yes.
So you are aware that all officers had body worn cameras on and activated during this whole interaction, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Haneen was never interviewed at the car wash.
Objection. Speculation. How's he supposed to know that?
Well, then he can say he doesn't have. Objections overruled. Go ahead.
Do you own a green Cherokee?
No.
What vehicle were you in when you and Haneen arrived?
I was in bullet silver Dodge Ram 1500 year is 2024.
And did Haneen call the police?
Talal might have told the police to my recollection.
And when you left the car wash, did you leave with Haneen?
Yes.
What was Haneen wearing that day?
A black scarf. Other than that, to my recollection, I do not remember. I'm not good at remembering what clothes she wore.
So do you recall speaking to multiple officers while you and Talal were standing next to each other?
Yes.
Where was Haneen standing?
She was next to my truck, I believe so.
So you've stated, your testimony was that you and Jibril had a contentious relationship, correct?
Define contentious.
Confrontational. You had a handful of interactions that were negative.
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, both families have had negative interactions with one another.
Yeah.
There's 3 instances where police have been involved, where both families were having negative interactions, correct? At least 3.
To my recollection, do you want me to explain or?
No, yes, no question.
Yes.
Okay. And those interactions have taken place prior to this incident at the car wash. And during those confrontations where several police were involved, it was because of threats being made by you and your family.
By Jibril Shawaka.
No, my question was by you and your family.
No.
No, never?
I'm sorry?
You guys never made threats against them?
No.
Okay. And you've made threats against Jibril over the phone and in person?
No.
So you don't recall ever saying to Omar prior to this incident even?
I'm sorry, saying to Omar?
Correct. No, to Jibril. You saying to Jibril, inviting him to meet you at a location.
Yes.
Okay. And adding on, I'll take you and everybody out.
No.
And you're going, I'll kill you. You don't recall ever saying I'll kill you to him? And you realize that you were sworn in at the beginning of this, right?
Yeah.
And so all your testimony needs to be truthful.
Yeah.
If it's found not truthful, that's perjury. And that, and
Well,
you
you
realize,
don't have to give him a lesson on counsel. I think that's inappropriate.
encouraging, incentivizing him to make sure he's telling the truth.
Well, you could ask him that.
Okay.
I suppose he knows what an oath is if he took it. But I don't need, because your statement of law regarding what is actually incorrect. But go ahead.
And you state, so if we play a recording of you making those statements, it wouldn't be accurate, is what you're contending.
So,
Okay. So when Haneen spoke to the police, she stated you gave Jibril a middle finger. Was that the truth?
yes, I reciprocated.
First, her statement was that Jibril came in and you gave the middle finger. So you're saying that's not true.
I reciprocated the middle finger to Jibril, showing he has.
Okay, so her assessment was false.
Judge, whose assessment are we talking about?
Haneen,
Hangun hasn't testified. So he's testified that Jibril gave the middle finger first.
I believe he opened the door to the question when he brought it up during your questioning of him.
He said what had happened, Your Honor. This is improper impeachment. He's trying to impeach him with a statement that somebody else allegedly made that hasn't been brought into court.
Sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So you had an opportunity to leave the car wash when you saw Jibril coming, but you did not leave.
No,
You did not have an opportunity to leave.
no,
You were in the car, in your vehicle.
yes.
And what kept you there?
Making sure, reassuring that my friend's safety of him leaving the car wash and acknowledging that real Shawaka was present at the car wash as well.
But the confrontation, the issue between you and Jibril was only between you two. There was no history of Talal and
That's no,
there were no issues between Talal and Jibril.
no.
And at the car wash, you gave very detailed statements to the police officers. Do you recall that?
I believe so.
And at no time had you ever mentioned an attempt to hit you with a car by Jibril until today.
Is there a question?
Correct. He said, okay, before I said correct. So it was answered. For the first time also, today, you mentioned 3 guys in a, did you say GMC or AMC?
It was a GMC truck.
And you did not know who they were?
No.
And were they there when the police came?
Yes.
And you are aware that the police got names of witnesses, correct? But there's no mention of 3 guys in a GMC. So you did not point them out to the police?
I pointed out that there was 3 guys in the GMC.
And you pointed to them and said it was them?
I don't know. I believe they might have left our wash when the police arrived.
Well, hold it. You just said they were there.
They were there, but when the police arrived, they might have been there. I was very.
No. The question was, were they there at the time the police arrived? You said yes.
I believe they were. They were parked on the side. When I noticed afterwards, when the police arrived, they were parked on the outside of the car wash. When you enter the car wash from Carpenter Road, they were parked on the side. Near the other businesses.
And you had not seen them before that day and, excuse me. That was one of the vehicles that was in the driveway when Adib, Shawaka, Talal, Almaita's vehicle and your vehicle were all in the driveway.
I'm sorry, can you say that?
That GMC was in the driveway along with your vehicle, as well as Talal Almaita's vehicle and Adib Shawaka's vehicle. All 4 were in the driveway.
All were in the back of the Zippy's car wash. In the park.
But when you said you weren't able to leave because you were blocked in, wasn't that one of the vehicles that was blocking?
I was blocked in when we were exiting from the front of Zippy's car wash. He showed up and blocked our truck off from the front.
Were you able to give a description of these 3 gentlemen that we're just now hearing about for the first time?
Their ethnicity.
No, I'm saying, were you able to give one to the police, a description of them? Because there's no description in the police report.
If I did, I might have.
Did you tell the police about these 3 people?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Did you tell them when the police arrived that they were there?
Yes.
When you told the police they were there, what did the police say to you about that?
They told me, if I, like,
That what?
I'm trying to recollect what was going on that day. When the police arrived, I believe they asked me if I knew them. I told them no.
Knew them being who?
The three gentlemen in the GMC, the black GMC truck. I think I recollect them asking me if I knew them. I told them no, but they were there. They got down from their vehicle. I recollect telling them that when they got down from the vehicle, I was very scared. I thought that all of them were approaching to attack me. And that's about all I recollect telling the cops. About them. But I definitely mentioned that there was 3 guys in a black truck. That's it.
Go ahead, Mr.
That's my train. Being that you and Jibril have had a contentious history, there's been a lot of back and forth, you admitted to. You recall threatening him as well, correct?
No.
You never threatened him? Okay. And 12 days before you were arrested for CCW, correct?
Objection. Relevant.
Relevance.
Mr. Shawaka is charged with felonious assault as one of the 3 counts. 1 count is felonious assault, 2 assault and batteries. Knowing the history between Omar, Mohammed, and the family with them, if there was,
I'm going to sustain the objection because I'm not going to have this talking answer to it. You either
if
can
there's
answer me,
a-
don't.
it's
Objection is
relevant
sustained.
of-
Ask the next question.
if there was a weapon shown, would it not have been in fear based on the threats you made to him prior?
No.
And knowing that you carry concealed?
Objection, Your Honor. She's asking you to spec.
Sustained.
While you said you were fighting Jibril, you said Jibril was fighting Talal. How did this happen? You can't fight 2 people in separate places at the same time.
Objection. She's misstating what he testified to.
He said Talal was in a flower bed. He said that the 3 men, Jibril was standing behind the 3 men by the vacuums.
That's not what he testified
So
to.
what's the question?
That he could not, that Jibril could not be fighting 2 people at the same time. So I'm trying to get how did this happen? How could he fight
don't
2
need to
people?
rephrase. I'll sustain the objection.
How many times did you have physical contact with Jibril at the car wash? Meaning
I think as in him hitting me.
physical contact.
Physical contact as in him attacking me.
Hitting, whether you hitting him 2 times?
He hit me.
How many times did you hit him?
Did I reciprocate?
No.
How many times did you hit him?
I hit him twice in the face.
At one point, it was said that you were kicking. While you were in the car, you were kicking at Mr. Shawaka, Jibril. I'm sorry, I'll use first name since there's 2 Shawakas, if that's okay. Was that not a true statement?
Objection. He didn't testify to that, Your Honor.
He did say-
I'll allow the, really? That's twice. Don't cock your head toward me, counsel.
I'm listening to you.
Let's go stand in recess. You may step
All rise.
in the case of the people versus Shawaka.
Talal, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney for the People.
Tina Saxon for Jibril Shawaka.
Sir, I just remind you that we've taken a break. We're still on parole. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You need to inquire, Ms. Saxon.
You did not request medical attention at the car wash, correct? And you did not tell the police that you had lost consciousness at the car wash while being interviewed at the car wash.
I don't believe it.
Okay, no further questions.
Can you redirect?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Regardless of what you had told the officer, approximately how many times did you get punched or kicked or hit?
Punched, 2 times. The second time, I recall I got punched directly in the center of my face, and it was very powerful.
And you lost, you testified you lost consciousness?
Yes,
And how were you when you were being interviewed with the police, were you feeling the effects of that?
my head was buzzing, my nose was bleeding. I felt very sharp pain in my nose, and it was like I was very foggy.
And at the time when the police were interviewing you, can you recall how many police cars were there?
No, actually, I can't.
Can you, no idea?
I believe there was probably more than 2.
More than 2? Okay.
More than 2 or 3.
And how many people do you recall being around at that time?
When the officers were there.
Yeah.
I'd say there was at least probably like 4 or 5 officers.
Okay. No further questions, Judge. Thank you.
So was the defendant there when the police arrived?
No,
He had left.
yeah.
They both being who?
Jibril, Shawaka, I think Shawaka.
So
And then after which, a whole bunch of people came as well. And there was people,
after a whole bunch of people from where?
I noticed that there was black Range Rover, that they told me that was their uncle that was there. There was a blue BMW.
Whose uncle?
Jibril and I think Shawaka. They told me that was their uncle that was there. They told me that, and then after which there was a couple other guys that I remembered from the wedding. Their last name were Almaita. They arrived after which, when the cops were interviewing me, and also the Shawaka came afterwards. There was a couple other guys that I don't know that were also there that came to park on the side after the fight. They were like still arriving.
The three,
I recall when Gabrielle was pointing the gun at me and.
Your Honor.
yes.
Will we get a chance to, redirect, or not redirect, cross on what he's just stated?
You've had exams before me. I certainly will give you an
I
opportunity
have
to do
no,
it, but I have to clarify. Yes, you have.
no, I haven't.
Yeah, you have. It was memorable for me. Sir, what I'm trying to figure out is, you testified that prior to the police arriving, the defendant had left,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The 3 people that were in the black vehicle, were they there for the defendant, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I believe so.
Okay, so, but when the police arrived, they were still there.
I don't know. I believe they were. I believe they were.
But
I remember-
hold
I
it,
remember-
you testified that you pointed out those people to the police.
Yes, because they were on the, because I think one of the officers approached me.
Sir, hold on. They're either there or they're not. So if they're not there, how do you point them out to the police?
They were parked on the side of the car wash. When you exit the car wash, they were on the side, so they were there.
So now what you're telling me is they were there.
Yeah.
And you pointed them out to the police.
Yeah.
Coming to the car wash, in your vehicle, there's you and your sister.
Yeah.
And then your friend is in another vehicle, right? Did you all arrive at the car wash at the same time?
My friend didn't, meet my
Pardon?
sister. My friend didn't meet my sister.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you all drove to the car wash.
Yes.
Did you get your car washed?
No.
But your friend did.
Yeah.
You just were vacuuming out your vehicle.
Yes.
What night of the week was this? It was August 14th.
Thursday.
Immediately before going to the car wash, where were you?
Leaving my house.
Is that in Pittsfield?
Yes. It's on textile.
And where were you headed?
I was heading to the car wash.
Okay, and after you went to the car wash, where were you intending on going?
Back to my house.
Does your sister reside at the same house you live in?
Yes.
So your sole purpose in going out was to go to the car wash to vacuum out your vehicle.
Yes. Well,
Where was your friend before? Was your friend at your house?
no, my friend was at his house. He was coming to meet me at the car wash.
Where's he live?
He lives in Hanover.
Okay, so can I ask, where was he going to your understanding after the car wash?
Also back to my house.
Was there a particular reason why you were meeting at the car wash?
Yes, we went there to clean out our vehicles because my sister wanted to go to Chicago. But because my aunt lives in Chicago, so she was going to visit her aunt. But because I can't leave the state currently, we agreed to like go clean out our trucks because he needed to clean out his truck. And then he was gonna proceed to take my sister to Chicago.
And you can't leave because of some bond condition?
Yes.
Just so I have it straight. Your sister wanted to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
You can't take her to Chicago. So your friend was going to take her to Chicago.
Yeah.
And so rather than have your friend come to your house to get your sister, you decided to meet at the car wash.
We were just going out to clean our cars, yes.
You were just what?
We went out to clean our cars beforehand.
Well, hold on. You said you were meeting at the car wash.
We did, yeah. We met at the car. So the whole day, it wasn't planned. It wasn't like, because it was all very like sudden. Because at that point, my sister had just gotten into a fight with Shawaka. And
With who?
Steve Shawaka.
Her-
Her current husband. That she's getting a divorce. So they had gotten into a fight, and she had came to stay at our house. So she wanted to go to Chicago. She was talking to my aunt. She wanted to go to Chicago.
Okay, when was the fight?
I'm sorry.
To your understanding, when was the fight?
What's the fight? August 14th.
Between your sister and her husband?
Between her sister and her husband. My sister and her husband.
That was
beforehand.
like a few days beforehand, few weeks, few months?
I'd say about a week and a half.
Okay. And so then she was going to Chicago.
Yes.
When you say it wasn't planned, what wasn't planned?
So all the details weren't planned, like how she was gonna go to Chicago, how we're gonna get her there. So throughout the day, we were just making like a plan how we're gonna get her to Chicago that she wanted to go. It was either her taking a train, taking the Amtrak to go to Chicago, and my aunt picking her up in the Amtrak. Or they proposed that I take her, but I said I couldn't because of my bond. And then I called my friend Talal. He said that he might be able to go. So we met up at the car wash. It was just like a whole bunch of like planning to try to get her to Chicago. And that's how we ended up at the car wash at 6 o'clock.
When you arrived at the car wash, or prior to going to the car wash, did you know defendant and his family would be there? Be careful how you answer that question, sir.
No, Your Honor.
You did not know.
No.
So at the point at which the first member of his family that you see is him?
Yes.
Okay.
Jibril.
Your Honor, sir, could you repeat that? I didn't hear.
My last question. The first member of his family that you saw was the defendant. I guess it's a better way to put it. As I'm listening to your story, was there ever a point that you believed that you could leave the car wash?
No, Your Honor.
So at no point could you have driven out of that car wash?
Based on the events that happened, I was trying to leave the car wash. That was my main.
Sir, that car wash is off of a service drive off of Carpenter, right?
Yes.
And so from part of the lot, at any given, you're in a 1500, right?
Yes.
Four-wheel drive?
Yes, sir.
At any given point, you could have driven down onto that service drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions based upon the court's questions?
May I ask just,
Go ahead.
if you had left, would you have left your friend then?
I would have left my friend in Mississippi.
And do you see Jibril Shawaka in court today?
Yes.
Could you identify him based on what he's wearing and where he's seated?
He's seated right next, he's seated right over there. He's wearing a black jacket and the gray tie and the gray dress shirt.
And I ask the court to reflect the in-court identification of Mr. Shawaka.
Record shall so reflect without objection. Hey, based upon your question, and I'll let you follow up, but where is your sister while all of this is going on?
She was in my passenger seat. In my car. But like she got down from the vehicle.
When?
So as soon as I got down from my vehicle to make sure that Talal was like had knowledge that Jibril was there, let's go. She also got down from the vehicle at that point as well. So we were,
Couldn't you see your friend? When you're in the vehicle, after you guys exchange greetings, can't you see your friend?
from when I was leaving.
You come in.
I couldn't see.
You,
When I was leaving, I couldn't see my friend. Because he was still parked behind me. I was leaving the vehicle, he was still parked. The car wash, I was leaving the car wash. Still.
before you got out of the vehicle, could you see where your friend was?
I could see where the car was parked. But I couldn't see him physically.
Why?
I was too far away.
You're 2 vacuums down, right?
No. So at that point, when I got down from the, we were exiting the area where the vacuums were. From the back of the car wash. So I'm going to the front of the car wash, I'm exiting, and he's still parked behind me on the corner.
And Your Honor, my recollection was at this point, his friend had finished vacuuming and gone through the car wash. So he was parked in that lot, but not at one of the vacuum stations.
But I understand, but at some point he comes. Did you exit your vehicle before your friend came out of the car wash?
I was when he came out of the car wash, I was out of my vehicle. So I was still vacuuming my car when he came out that moment. And then he proceeded to park in the lot where the vacuums are.
Right.
I finished vacuuming my car. I got into the car, I'm leaving, and he's still parked.
Were you, may I ask a question, Your Honor?
Yes.
When you got back in your car and you said you were leaving, were you then going to go through the car wash as well?
Lead objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. It is so leading because he. Go ahead if you got another question, but I'm sustaining the objection.
When you got back in your car and you were going to leave, where were you going?
After that, I believe I was in the car wash.
That's why we don't lead.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah, I know, because before you said you didn't. Go ahead. It's okay.
I don't have any further questions, Judge.
Well,
Well, hold on. You don't have a question.
When you get back into your vehicle and your sister's in the vehicle, you're going to leave, correct? Well, no. Were you going to leave or not?
Yeah.
Your friend has already come through the car wash, right?
Yes.
And at that point, you say you can't see your friend.
When I was leaving.
Then how did you know he was still there?
I mean, I couldn't see him, his person, but I could see his car. Like if I look back, like out of my window, I see his car still parked. But where my friend was, I didn't see. Like if he was outside the car, in the car. Because when I was finishing up vacuuming my car, he was wiping from the car wash.
So at the point in time that you and the defendant are exchanging greetings, you're about to leave.
Yes, because after that, I confirmed that Talal.
Okay, and so where was your friend at that moment?
At that moment, when I got out from my vehicle, Talal was inside him.
No. Because you gave him the finger, whether first, last, or in the middle, while you were still in the vehicle, right?
Yes.
And that was after you had vacuumed your car.
Yes.
And so you were leaving after you vacuumed. So you were still in the vehicle.
Yes.
Where was your friend?
He was still parked in the lot, the vacuum lot.
And you're saying you could see his vehicle but couldn't see him?
Yes.
And so after you two exchange pleasantries and you're about to leave, why didn't you just leave?
Well, that was the point where he was pointing the gun at me.
He didn't point the gun at you till you got out of the vehicle. At the point before you got out of the vehicle, why didn't you just leave?
Because I wanted to make sure that Talal was leaving with me as well.
So there was nowhere for you to pull in the entrances or exits and get on a cell phone?
I could have, but that's in a couple of thoughts.
In fact, you could have pulled down on one of the driveways and waited, right?
I mean, hypothetically, yeah.
No, I mean, from practical, you could have, right? And then waited for your friend to come behind you, right?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if my friend would have exited his vehicle because Jibril at that point, before I got down from my vehicle, Jibril had already parked and exited his vehicle. So I don't know if my friend got down from his vehicle as well. So out of concern for my friend as well, I wanted to get out from my vehicle and make sure that everything was okay before I left.
Any questions based upon the court questions?
None for me, Your Honor.
Testify when I question you that Talal and Jibril did not have an issue with each other. The issue was strictly between you and him and your family and the Shawakas.
Talal was aware of the situation that was going on.
You mentioned to the judge that you said they told you the Range Rover, another vehicle, and you named some people were there. Who is they?
Talal told me that the Range Rover was.
Hold on a second. Did you see these or did
I did, yeah.
you know who they are? Or is the only reason you know who they are is because of what somebody else told you? Not going to allow the answer.
Thank you. On the day of this incident at the car wash, your sister was still living with Phoebe Shawaka at the Roundtree address, not at your house.
No,
She had moved out.
yes.
Yeah. When Talal came out of, and this is my last question on this Talal and where he was. When he came out of the car wash, he went to the vacuums and you were exiting. So Jibril had passed you coming in and you were going out because you were driving, correct?
Yeah.
And you chose not to keep going onto the service drive, but to turn around and go back into the car lot, into the car wash, correct?
No.
Okay, nothing further.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
You may step down.
Thank you.
May call your next witness.
People call Talal Almaita.
This witness to be excused. He's remaining in the courtroom, the past witness. You have any objection?
You can be excused.
All right,
No objection.
stay in the courtroom.
Oh, yeah. With the, in anticipating that this may go to trial, I would like him to be excused from the court.
I'm not going to excuse him for that reason.
Good afternoon.
Need the interpreter sworn.
I'm sorry, Judge, is, may he stay or?
Stay.
Thank you.
Arabic.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that you will interpret accurately, completely, and impartially using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into Arabic and from Arabic into English in the manner now before the court, so help you God?
I do.
You come up here.
Um,
You also. He needs a chair over there.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? See. Hey, spell your first and last name for the record.
Almaita, Talal, Almaita.
We inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Almaita, turning your attention to August 14th, 2025 at approximately 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the afternoon, where were you? And who were you there with? Did you drive together? Did you come from the same place or did you meet there? And when you say Omar, could you say his first name for the court or his full name for the court? What is his full name? Thank you. And why were you at the car wash?
Wash my car.
And while you were washing your car, what if anything happened?
Can't hear him very well. So you know, like a man, person came to the car wash and he started screaming and swearing at him.
Mr. Almaita, I will ask if you can keep your voice up so that the interpreter can hear you. So you just said that a person came up. How did they arrive? And what kind of car? And when the Jeep came into the car wash, what happened?
So started yelling and swearing at Omar.
The person who you saw in the car who was swearing at Omar, did you know him? And do you see that person in court today?
Yes.
Can you describe where he's seated and what he's wearing for the court? Can you describe his clothing, please?
A black jacket, a tie, and a gray shirt.
All right, that's the record to reflect the in-court identification of the defendant.
Record shall so reflect without objection.
Mr. Almaita, this car wash that you were at, where was that located? Carpenter Road. I think 5300 Carpenter Road. Okay. What happened after Mr. Mohammed and the defendant exchanged gestures?
I came out by truck and when I was standing by my truck, he lifted and waved the gun at him.
When you say he, to whom are you referring? Jibril, meaning Mr. Shawaka, the defendant seated there that you identified?
Yes.
And where was Mr. Mohammed when this happened?
He was behind his truck.
Mr. Mohammed was behind his truck?
Yes.
And where was Mr. Shawaka?
By his truck.
And what did you see Mr. Shawaka do?
With his gun at Omar.
How was he holding the firearm? Okay. Okay. Did you observe how was Mr. Shawaka holding the firearm? Can you describe that for the court, please?
Was holding it from inside the car, beside the door.
Was he seated in the car or standing?
Standing.
So he was standing. Describe for the court how he was standing or where he was in relation to the car.
According to the understanding of the interpreter, the car was parked like that. And he was standing by the door, front door, and his hand from inside the door.
Okay.
So was his hand from going through the window of the car?
No.
Was he standing behind the door or somewhat near the door?
Yes.
And in what hand was the firearm?
Right.
And could you describe how he was holding it?
Like that.
Was his elbow away from his body? Was it near his body?
Close to.
And was the firearm then extended, his lower arm extended away from his body holding the gun?
Your Honor, objection.
I'll withdraw that question, Your Honor. Could you see what direction the firearm was pointed? And when the firearm was pointed at Omar, could you see what he did? And what did they say, if anything?
Your Honor, hearsay.
And it's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted.
I'll overrule the objection.
And then what happened?
And he pulled his phone and he was speaking to somebody.
And what happened after that?
Three persons, entered the car wash.
And then what happened?
They started screaming, they started to separate them. Then he ran and he punched Omar.
Who punched Omar? Jibril. Were there other people there at that time? Was it, you said Jibril punched Omar. Was anyone else there?
The three persons who were trying to separate them.
And when did they arrive?
Before he punched him.
So the three people.
I didn't hear it.
Before he punched Omar.
Thank you.
After Mr. Shawaka punched Omar, what happened after that?
I would say Shawaka, طبعاً. Omar punched him 3 times.
And then what happened?
Legs crumbled and fell.
And then did they separate?
Yes.
Once they separated, what did they do?
Person from the car wash came in and started screaming. He said, what's going on here? They asked him, do you have cameras here? He said, yes. Then they took my phone and called.
And then what happened after that?
Then Omar went to his truck and then went to my truck and then we went to the front side.
And then what happened when you went to the front side? Did you leave?
I opened the window and asked Omar to leave the street because he didn't.
And why did you ask him that question?
The police asked me what was the street.
And then at that time, once you answered that question, what happened next?
A car entered and closed the exit from the exit and closed the tower.
When you say closed our way, can you describe what you mean?
I was parked a car beside Omar's car. And then he came facing us and locked up.
So the other car blocked the driveway, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Thank you. After that happened, what happened after that?
Another person came from behind and moved a lot of marks. And then he went out of the car, out of his car and dragged on, started to drag.
Who dragged Omar? When Jibril grabbed Omar, what did you do? And then what happened?
Another person came and pulled me from my neck. He choked me. I felt like I was gonna die.
Did that person grab you from the front or the back? Could you see them? And did they, when they grabbed you by the neck, what did they do?
He kept choking me, pressing on my neck, and then he turned my neck out. And then he was wearing like a instruction book, and he was kicking me in my face.
And after he kicked you, what happened after that?
He kicked me twice. The third time he was trying to kick me, I stopped him and tried to stand up to hit him. Then two persons came.
And then what happened after that?
English, and they went back to the truck. Then in Arabic, one of them to pick him up.
When you say one of them tried to hit Omar, could you see this happen?
Yes, he went into his car and he was driving like crazy.
When you say he, to whom are you referring? Could you see the defendant get into his car?
Yes.
And then after he, describe how he drove for the court, please.
And they would fight him, we went back to the truck, we were going to the trucks, we got our trucks. Omar was trying to help, he was in the middle, and he went into his car and tried to hit him.
What did Omar do when the truck came near him? After that, what happened?
He escaped, and 20-30 seconds later, shot up.
And you spoke to the police? I have nothing further, Judge.
Cross-examination.
To clarify, the person that grabbed you from behind was not Jibril, Shawaka.
Another person.
How many cars about were at the car wash when this fight was happening?
Everybody was in the car.
Everyone. I'm sorry. Can you visually estimate? How long have you been friends with Omar? Months, years? How many years? About? More than 1 year.
Yes.
More than 5 years. Were you aware of the problems between the Mohammed family and the Shawaka family? About how long after you started calling the police did the 3 men in the GMC appear? The 3 men you said that appeared, how did they arrive?
Before the police,
About how long from the time he made the call that he saw Jibril pick up the phone to when the men appeared? About how long?
They arrived before I spoke with the police.
How long before the police arrived did the men arrive?
Not sure what is the next 15 minutes.
How long were you at the car wash total? Do you remember making a statement to the police?
Explain the whole story.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part of what you said.
Explain the whole story to him. Yeah.
Without the details. As far as identifying the people involved, other than Jibril, were you able to identify anybody else involved? When you claim that Jibril tried to hit Omar with a vehicle, is that when your truck, Omar's truck, and Adib's truck was still in the driveway?
Yes.
And yet Jibril was still able to leave.
Yes.
No other further questions?
Very briefly, Judge.
Yes.
When you were choked from behind, did you lose consciousness?
Yes.
Do you know how long you lost consciousness for? Nothing further, Your Honor.
Was Omar's sister there?
Yeah.
Where was she while all this fighting was going on?
Most likely she was inside the car. And then
Do you ever remember seeing her get out of the car?
she was stepping out of the Sahara. At the beginning of the problem, yes.
Were you going to Chicago that day?
Yes.
Any questions based upon the court's questions?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Who were you going to Chicago with?
I think that's was given right to our sister to Chicago.
No further questions.
You may sit down. Thank you. We call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. People will call Officer Logan Lamberson. Your Honor, may Mr. Almaita be excused?
Any objection? Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, please come forward and be sworn.
Solemnly swear upon testimony about you, the truth and whole truth, and the truth so help you God. State to know your first and last name for the record, please.
Logan Lamberson, Logan Lamberton.
In court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Lamberton, are you currently employed?
Okay,
Where are you employed?
Pittsfield Township Police Department.
How long have you been so employed?
3.5 years.
And presumably then you were so employed on August 14th, 2025?
I was.
Were you on duty on that date at approximately 5:36 o'clock? What, if anything, happened on that date and time?
The entire shift was sent to the Zippy's car wash as tech drive for a assault in progress.
When you say the entire shift, what do you mean?
Everybody responded, all cars that was there, was working that day, responded to the severity and the complexity of the dispatch event.
And how many cars roughly, police cars were there?
Well, I would say between 5 and 7.
And during that time, when those 5 and 7 police cars were there civilian vehicles there? Were there other people, civilian people there? Approximately how many people were there besides law enforcement?
Involved in the incidents, 5 to 10. Well, it was 5 way too low, 8 to 10.
How would you describe the scene when you were there?
Truly chaotic.
During the course of your investigation, what were you able to do?
Yeah.
Or whom did you speak to?
I spoke with multiple witnesses on the scene. I spoke with the suspect, the victims, the manager of the Zippy's car wash. I spoke with multiple people on the scene.
And who was the suspect that you spoke with?
The gentleman sitting in the front seat.
And do you know his name?
Last of Shawaka.
And can you identify him for the record, please?
I can't sitting at the front table, but I'm very sure.
Judge, I'd ask the record reflect the in-court identification of the defendant, please.
Without objection, record shall so reflect.
When you spoke to the defendant, what did he tell you?
He explained to me that he was at the car wash on the date in question. He went when he did so, he drove around the back of the car wash where the vacuums are at. When he pulled up, he was met with the 2 victims. In this case, he said that Omar had ran him with a ball fist, causing him to retreat back to his vehicle. There have been multiple threats to his life, he stated, by Omar and family. He made fear for his life, so he opened the door to the vehicle where his gun was located in the driver's.
And so he admitted to you that he possessed a firearm? Did you see that firearm? Judge, if I could have just a moment.
Officer, was he still at the scene? The defendant was still at the scene when you were there?
He was not.
He was not.
Yes.
Oh.
Judge, I don't have any further questions based on that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Officer Lamberson. Chaotic is an understatement, right?
There was a black man. Yes.
To be clear, you said there were about 8 to 10 civilians involved, or about 8 to 10 people around the vacuums?
People around, including that would be witnesses, that would be the person the manager of Zippy's car wash, the victims, suspect was not on scene. There was multiple people involved in the direct incident, not victims and suspect. That was
I don't know about anyone else, but this front of the car wash, back of the car wash is kind of confusing. So are we saying front of the car wash is where the driveway leading to the service drive is? Or is that how you would describe it?
service drive, explain that, I'm sorry.
The
It
best
probably
tech,
has a name. I call it a service.
I don't,
Best Tech runs up Carpenter.
Sounds good.
Is that clear that out? Okay,
Yeah.
so Best Tech runs up Carpenter. So the back of the building would be the south side, as how I'm describing this, the front would be the north side.
please don't put me up against compasses. So best tech side, is that what you're referring to as front?
That would be the front of people.
Okay.
That's the only entrance and exit off of, or into the complex.
Okay, so where the entrance to the car wash is, that would be the backside, or we're calling it the backside.
The entrance would be on the side. So there's the sides to it, right? So you come in off of Beztech, the opposite side of that, the back side. When you enter the car wash on the side, you have to go around the back.
Yes. Okay. Okay, all right, so front side. When you and the other officers entered the front side, was it blocked by any vehicles of the alleged victims? Or were you able to just get in?
I was able to get it, to my recollection, that it was not blocked at the time of my arrival.
Okay.
Or I don't think I was one of the first officers there.
Correct. You mentioned a firearm. Did you run a check to see if that firearm was properly registered?
I did not, but the officer did.
Okay. And you've, to your knowledge, the firearm is properly registered?
Objection, hearsay.
Rule no here. Go ahead. Good answer.
The gun was properly registered.
Did you check lien to find out if the Mr. Jibril was a CPL holder?
Again, I did not. But the officer did.
So he was, Mr. Jibril, I'm sorry, I'll go back to first names. Jibril was not arrested for CCW. And that would be because he had a valid CPL license.
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Okay. I believe it's relevant, Your Honor, because when the prosecutor mentioned.
And I have already sustained the objection because I don't find it relevant.
Okay. When you spoke to witnesses, do you recall about how many witnesses you spoke to? Would that include the alleged victims? Did any of the victims report that they saw a gun being brandished?
Objection, Your Honor. He just testified he didn't talk to the victims. So I don't know how he's going to answer that question.
I'm witnesses? When he spoke to the witnesses?
Rephrase your question.
I'll move past. Were you able to recover video from the car wash? Was it because it wasn't available or none was recorded?
The video is not, if you did live time, it's not recorded at that location.
Okay. Other than Omar Mohammed and Talal Almaita, were there any other persons claiming injury related to the fight?
Yes.
Were one of the witnesses you spoke to Mohammed? Had you been familiar, were you familiar with either Jibril, Shawaka, or the alleged victims prior to this incident?
Directly now.
When you were en route to the call, was there any information other than progress?
It's just basic information that would dispatch us to the call, all the progress in the Zippy's parking lot.
Was there anything said about a person known to carry a weapon?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
I don't recall.
In preparation for testifying today, did you have an opportunity to view your notes and videos or recordings, I mean?
I watched our red report.
Okay, but not the videos or the 911 recording.
No,
When you, I don't know, when did you leave the scene? Were there still, when you left the scene, were the alleged victims still at the scene being dealt with by other officers? Okay. When you left the scene, was Huron Valley Ambulance there?
my recollection, they were.
They were? Okay. Or was that, or is it possible it would have been Ann Arbor Fire Department?
And our firemen responded.
Okay, thank you. Did you notice any blood on Omar Mohammed?
I don't recall.
When you were speaking to Mr. Jibril, did you find him cooperative or uncooperative? Did you speak to him on the phone or in person? And when you spoke with him in person, were there any other, other than officers, any other people around that could testify to what happened at the car wash? Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, can I have one more question?
Sure.
Had you been advised during your time at the scene that death threats have been made against Mr. Jibril?
From the victims, you're saying?
Correct.
That was learned after.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone tell you about 3 individuals showing up in black vehicle?
Now that I can recall, there was a black truck involved.
Okay.
To what extent, my apologies, I'm blanking with the chaotic scene that we had.
Understood. But everyone who strike that, if an individual told you that certain other individuals were involved, were those individuals talked to either by yourself or another officer?
Yes, I talked to a group of gentlemen in a black truck who pulled. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you know about these gentlemen in the black truck's participation?
Semi recollection, one of them pulled or separated the individuals in the back.
So to your understanding, they were not involved in the fight itself?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct, yes.
all right. Got it. Any questions based upon the court's question?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, officer. Step down. Any other witnesses for the people?
No, Your Honor.
Any witnesses for the defense?
Your Honor, the witness list for the state said the OIC, Cameron, I don't want to butcher his name. Trierweiler. Would testify, I would like to call him.
He's here. Sir, please step forward and be sworn.
See, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to affirm the testimony about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? See. State spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Cameron, Cameron, Trierweiler, Trierweiler.
Common spell. Go ahead.
Trierweiler. Okay. How, you're with Pittsfield Police Department?
Yes.
And how long have you been with them?
November 2024.
Since November 2024?
Yes.
And do you have a title?
Police officer.
As the officer in charge, do you review the reports written by the other officers?
Briefly.
Are you like the manager of the case when you're designated OIC? Okay. In your review of this case, were any other cases referenced involving the parties?
Any other cases you name?
Were any of the brothers, the defendant or the alleged victims involved any other case that was referenced in the police report?
No.
Do you recall who you spoke with at the scene?
Yeah. Saw Almaita and Omar.
And did you speak, or I'm sorry, your report stated a caller um, said that their brother was assaulted. Do you know who the caller was?
I have the car was.
Did you see any females at the scene?
Yes,
And where did you see them?
I saw a female in the horse truck. That's
Okay. Do you know if any of the other officers spoke to her, that female?
I believe so.
Would you know which officer?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it was a very chaotic scene. Had you had prior contact with anyone involved on that call or that scene? I'm sorry. You and Officer Christie were the first to arrive?
So I was the first officer to arrive. I'm sure it was the same officer's part.
When you were going en route to that scene, were you flagged down or attempted to be flagged down by anybody? Okay. So no one on Michigan Ave was trying to get your attention in a green Cherokee? Do you recall hearing over the air from dispatch advising a firearm may be in possession of Omar Mohammed?
I do not recall.
Okay. Do you recall dispatch advising of any firearms potentially on scene?
I do not recall.
Do you recall observing Officer Christie questioning Omar about a firearm?
Briefly, do I remember Officer Chris speaking to Omar, CCW.
And you, I'm sorry, you said you only spoke with Talal and Omar, but you did not speak with Jibril.
Okay.
And you had never responded to any calls between the families before? Okay. Did you speak to there were cars parked on the Tech Street? Did you speak to any of those people?
I did not, there was multiple cars parked on the site. Speak to-
Do you recall any about how many non-involved vehicles were able to go in and out? Like exit and enter?
I'm actually not able to enter and exit my cars and block the entry. When I pull over into the entrance, I blocked it.
And then did the manager ask you to move your car or someone to move it? You don't recall a white pickup truck being able to go past and enter and exit? You confirmed that Gabrielle had a valid CPL, correct?
It was confirmed, but not many.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Jibril was the only person arrested, correct?
Yes.
Why is that?
Primary aggressor in the situation. We obtained his plate and another officer contacted him at his address.
So the person identified by Talal
Yes.
was not interviewed that day?
Not to my knowledge.
So did you go to Jibril's residence?
Yes, myself and multiple other officers did.
I'm sorry.
Myself and multiple other officers.
And no other person of interest or suspect was there?
Just Gabriel.
Okay. Do you recall seeing either Omar or Talal in an unconscious state while you were there? Or when you first approached?
My first approach, you were standing.
They were both standing. And Talal did not volunteer information about being unconscious. He responded to your question of it, correct?
Yes, Tyler told me, yes, he was unconscious.
You asked him if he ever lost consciousness, and he then said yes.
I believe so. I believe I asked this question.
And to your knowledge, in your conversation with Omar, Omar never mentioned losing consciousness.
No, he didn't.
In your interview of him, you did not, whether an excited utterance or otherwise, hear Omar tell you that Jibril was protected by 3 men so that he could punch him.
Do recall Omar saying that Gabrielle did reach across people to him.
But so did he provide any description of these people? Did he or Talal point out anyone else involved in the fight?
They pointed out black people that was parked on Best Tech Road, which I warned my command officer, Sergeant Patterson, were over there talking. I believe he said we're not involved though.
Okay. And to your knowledge, as the OIC, had their names been given, they would have been included in the report as witnesses.
Yes, the names were in the
And that's policy of Pittsfield Public Safety. Okay. Is there a continuing investigation on this matter? Okay, so it's considered closed for Pittsfield.
Yes, yeah, over to the prosecutor's office, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. You may step down. Any additional witnesses for the defense?
No.
Any rebuttal witnesses for the people?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Do I have a motion?
People would move to bind over on count 1. People would also ask to bind over on an added count 4, assault with a dangerous weapon. That weapon being the motor vehicle driven by Mr. Shawaka.
Respond.
I ask that this matter not be bound over on any of the counts, particularly count or in addition to the now added count 4. There had been no report prior to today of it's not in the police report. There's no stated in the police report. I don't believe that there was substantial evidence stating that this event actually did happen. The testimony of Omar Mohammed is not credible to uphold such. So I ask for dismissal for the statement and burden.
Issue.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Very briefly, Your Honor. It's a chaotic scene. There was a lot going on. Both witnesses called, both Mr. Almaita and Mr. Mohammed had been injured. They had been rendered unconscious. To expect all of their recollection to be exactly perfect would not be particularly fair. Even the officers testified that the scene was very chaotic. What was clear, and I think the testimony that was, the people would contend the testimony that was clear and consistent is that Mr. Shawaka pointed a gun at Mr. Mohammed. It's clear that there is quite a bit of animosity between these people. There is a, quite a bit going on between their two houses. Let's just leave it at that. And whether or not Mr. Mohammed could have left and de-escalated the situation and left his friend there. Regardless, he approached without a weapon. There's no indication that he ever had a weapon, and may have wanted to talk to him, maybe wanted to yell at him. It's not clear what exactly happened. What is clear from the testimony is that Mr. Shawaka pulled a firearm and pointed it at Mr. Mohammed, and that is clear from the testimony. And the testimony was consistent regarding where he was standing, how he held it, what it looked like. And then the testimony is also clear that when he attempted to leave the scene, which he successfully was able to do, he attempted to hit Mr. Mohammed with his vehicle. So I would ask the court to bind over on both charges. It's clear there's some issues of material fact here that a jury is going to have to parse through. But those particular facts were consistent throughout the testimony, and they are uncontroverted. If there's an issue of self-defense, I think that should be left to the province of the jury. Your Honor, people would contend that. So people would ask for bind over on counts 1 and 4, counts 2 and 3 to follow along.
All right, clear stand in recess. I'll come back shortly and give you my decision.
Morning, Don.
Exceeded. All right. 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. You have to day 17 to preside.
You may be seated.
Progress.
Go back on the record in the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shawaka. Yeah, that's right. In this case, the testimony, while somewhat confusing for Mr. Mohammed, was buttressed by the fact, actually, of the officer statement of the defendant's testimony. And he may have had a reason for the pulling of the gun, but the issue of self-defense, if that may have been the issue, or his reasonable fear or apprehension of what Mr. Mohammed would do, is not something that would be decided at a preliminary examination. And so the court would find that the people have sustained a burden as to count 1, the felonious assault. While I state, and counts 2 and 3 would follow along, while I state that the real problem here and part of the court's controversy or the thought process in the case is that I don't think all of these people just showed up at Zippy's for no reason. I think there was something else that occurred either prior to or during that caused all of these individuals to end up in the same spot. I would also note that with reference to the request to add count 4, the part of the difficulty is that while there was testimony from Mr. Mohammed that the defendant was headed at him, I'm not convinced that that was necessarily the case. Being described as a chaotic scene, it may have been that the defendant at that point was as likely just trying to leave and trying to get out of there in some type of fashion. So the court's going to decline to bind over on an added count 4. I will bind the defendant over to stand trial on count 1 with 2 and 3 following. As to the arraignment.
In receipt of general information, Mr. Shawaka stands meter in charge. We wait for more reading.
Defendant having wait, you said he's standing mute.
Yeah.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute. The court will enter a not guilty plea as to all 3 counts. Pretrial in this matter will be set for
January 7th at 1:30 with Judge Khan.
January 7th, 2026, 1:30 before Judge Khan. Bond will continue. And while it's said that courts can never learn anything. And now learn the name of the road that I call a service drive. Because for a long time resident of Pittsfield, that road didn't exist. Somebody just made it. All right.
Can put spell in there.
No, because all I know is Amazon's going down there. It's like it's a place between Amazon and Sam's Club. Everything else is irrelevant between the two. That's just my life. All right. Court stands adjourned. Thank you.